There were basically three responses, I would say, in doing post game that I received from the fans in regards to why Miami lost. One was that opinion that you kind of alluded to just a second ago in regards to we're horrible, we suck, they're in a different league, we got just outplayed, I never saw this coming, why are our athletes not living up to theirs? Number two was coaching. We've got just as much talent, we got just as good a team. They took us to school, Venables and Dabo, their coaching staff, they've been around forever, been working together forever. They just schooled us. And number three, there was a huge blame by certain people on the officiating with the 15 or the 13 penalties and those hurting at certain times.
Wow. We'll start out with the last one. So, yes, the Miami Hurricanes have 15 penalties for 135 yards. You cannot, when you go up against the King, you can't miss. You cannot miss. And there were times when we were offsides on an interception. There were times when we're roughing the passer, unnecessary roughness. Thank God we blocked one of the field goals because there was a penalty for it, roughing the kicker. But since the ball was tipped, they had to pick it up. Plenty of false starts, holding, illegal formations. I mean, all of the things that when Bobby Durkins was on my channel said that we would show up unprofessional. He wasn't nervous because we would not be focused. We wouldn't. The only thing that would change his mind is if the Miami Hurricanes showed up focused and intense and ready to go. You know, that's all we saw was that. It wasn't that. It was not focused. It was not detailed by any means. Defensively, we looked pretty good. But offensively, that was probably some of the worst stuff, man. And it's hard for me to go back and do my film reviews, but I had to do it. You know, it's hard to rewatch it. But in that time that you are rewatching, you see, what's up, Jordan Bowman? You see a lot of things that flashed. I mean, I've been talking about Bubba Bolden. I've been screaming and banging on the door for Bubba Bolden and Nesta Silvera since maybe February-ish, January, February-ish. The third person in that trio that I talk about is Mark Pope. He's still yet to show anything. But Bubba Bolden and Nasty Nesta have showed up. And there was even some individual plays by Nesta as an interior defensive lineman that I think he probably got some nice NFL nods from. But Bubba Bolden, I mean, the shot of him going off on the sideline with the nose bleeding after blocking that kick. I mean, it might be one of those. If we ever were to do a U Part 3, it'll definitely be on there. I mean, people, it's a nice gift that's been going around since that game. He's probably got a lot of new fans from the way that he played this game and how he's been playing throughout the season, Mark. But, you know, I think the penalties was a big thing, yes. Now you talk about us just absolutely sucking. I think that's just a reaction to how embarrassing it was. You know, that's what we all kind of put our hats on, that it would be a game, that, you know, this team would be in the fight, swinging back and forth. And I feel like it could have been 10 times worse if Coach Blake Baker and his defense didn't hold on as long as they possibly could. And I've been critical of him every time. He was my biggest issue, but he was the only coordinator that showed up on Saturday. You know, if the game was 21-10, about 6 minutes into the third quarter, you give that team, that defense, 7 actual points early. So if it's 17-21, you don't know how it's played out. Who knows the way that we come out? But eventually we were going to break. I mean, they played so many 90 snaps, 90 defensive snaps. That's not only going to affect us in that game, but moving forward, because you start the wear and tear on a team early. I thought it was coming off of a bye, but man, it was ugly. It was ugly. The other person who I really thought was going to show up was Coach Rick Lashley, and he didn't. And whatever connection or miscommunication was going on between him and De'Aaron King in the pass protection, or De'Aaron King not having the ability to make any audibles at the line of scrimmage. I mean, it was literally to the point they walked up to the line of scrimmage and said, "We are blitzing you, and we are letting them play press man coverage. Force us to get out of this." And we never did, Mark. Not once. All these other games, we would go 4 wide and open up the box, then run. Nope. We bunched it up, 22 personnel, ran dive right into a 7-8 man box. It was bad. Am I giving up on my Kings? No. But I feel like that game plan on Saturday was atrocious, and really made everybody with NFL aspirations on offense. I don't know. Even, your Brevin Jordans, nothing. Mark Pope, nothing. Our leading receptor was Mike Harley, 3 receptions for 13 yards. It was bad. Just a bad offense again.